All right, so for today's lesson, we're going to take a look at systems by substitution. So yesterday we looked at graphing. Today we're going to look at another method of substitution. All right, so we're still looking at SOL A.4d. The learning target, I can solve a system of linear equations by substitution. All right, so we've used substitution before. So if we think back to the beginning of the year when we evaluated expressions, we used the substitution method. So we replaced a variable with a number. So for example, if A is equal to 4, everywhere we saw an A in the expression, we plugged it in. Also, when we solve for different values or to see if a solution or a number is a solution to an equation, we subbed in that number. So we've been using substitution. All right, so to do this, substitute the equation that is already solved for x or y into the other equation. So let me put some bullet points here. All right, so sometimes one of the equations will already solve for a variable, so all you'll have to do is sub in. All right. Or in other cases, sometimes you will have to solve for a certain variable. Since we're talking in terms of x and y, sometimes you'll either solve for x or either solve for y. It does not matter. And then you rewrite your solution as an ordered pair. So remember, we talked about the 3 types of solutions yesterday. So let's talk about that again. So thinking back to when we worked with multi-step equations, we had 3 types of solutions just like we talked about yesterday. So remember, one solution was, for example, x is equal to a number or a is equal to a number. No solution is if we got 2 is equal to 7, because we know 2 will never equal 7, or negative 4 is equal to 18. We know that negative 4 will never equal 18. And then, of course, infinite number of solutions. 7 equals 7, x equals x, 2y equals 2y. So remember, those are examples of an infinite number of solutions, all right? So our solutions look a little different than graphically, where we had the one where they intercepted one point, or parallel lines, or for infinite number of solutions, it was exactly the same line. All right, so let's take a look at example 1. So for example 1, we're giving the 2 equations. Remember, with the system, we're working with 2 equations. Y equals 6x, and then we have 2x plus 3y equals negative 20. So here, since we already have it solved for y, we're simply going to plug in 6x where we see y. So I have 2x plus 3 times 6x equals negative 20. All right, so all I did was replace my y with my 6x since y is equal to 6x. All right, so I'm going to multiply. So I have 2x plus 18x equals negative 20. Here I can combine like terms for the purpose of substituting. That leaves me with one variable. So see, I'm working just with x right now. So I have 2x plus 18x, which gives me 20x, which is equal to negative 20. Divide both sides by 20, and I get x is equal to negative 1. All right, so if you remember, our solutions are always in the form x comma y. All right, so we have our x value. Now we need to find our y. So we can simply, again, substitute x in, and it doesn't matter which equation, but I'm going to go with the first one because that's a little easier. So I'm going to plug in negative 1 for x. So I get y is equal to negative 6. All right, so my solution to this system of equations is x is negative 1, y negative 6. So I get the point negative 1, negative 6. Okay. Let's take a look at another example. So I have y is equal to x plus 9, and I have 3x plus 8y is equal to negative 5. All right, so again, I have an equation already solved for y, so I'm going to go ahead and sub in. So I have 3x plus 8 times x plus 9 equals negative 5. All right, so now I have to distribute. So I have 3x plus 8 times x gives me 8. 8 times 9 gives me 72, and that is equal to negative 5. I have 3x plus 8x. which is going to give me 11x plus 72 is equal to negative 5. Now I'm going to subtract 72 from both sides. Whoops. All right, so here we get 11x is equal to negative 77. Divide both sides by 11, and we get that x is equal to negative 7. All right, since we already have it solved for y, we're just going to plug in negative 7 for x. We get that y is equal to 2. So we get the solution, negative 7, 2. All right, so now I want you to take a look at the third example. I want you to pause the video using the same process, and I want you to try the third example on your own. All right, so here this is very similar to what we did before, except for it's already solved for x. So we're going to plug in 4y plus 7. For x, keep everything else the same. We get 8y plus 14 minus 6y is equal to 12. 8y minus 6y is 2y plus 14 is equal to 12. Minus 14 on both sides. And we get 2y is equal to negative 2. Divide both sides by 2, and we get y is equal to negative 1. All right, so now we know that y is equal to negative 1. We're going to simply plug that in to determine what our x value is. We have 4 times negative 1, which is 4, plus 7, and we have that x is equal to 3. So we have the solution 3, negative 1. All right, so let's take a look at the next example. All right, so example 4, again, we're given 2 equations for our system, but in this case, they're not solved for a specific variable. All right, so what I like to do is look for the variable that has a coefficient of 1. So if we look at the second equation, this y has a coefficient of 1. So I'm simply going to solve this equation for y, which means I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And I get y is equal to negative 2x plus 9. Now I'm going to simply do like I did in the previous examples and plug in. I'm going to plug in the expression 2x plus 9 for y, and that is equal to negative 11. 2x, 3 times the negative 2 gives me a positive 6x. And then we have minus 27 equals negative 11. So we have 2x plus 6x is 8x, minus 27 equals negative 11. We're going to add 27 to both sides, and we get that 8x is equal to 16. Divide both sides by 8, and we get that x is equal to 2. Now, since we already have that equation solved for y, we're simply going to plug in x for 2, or 2 for x, excuse me. Negative 2 times 2 plus 9. So we get that y is equal to negative 4 plus 9. Y is equal to 5. So we get the solution to 5. All right. Number 5, very similar situation. Here we have our 2 equations for our system, and we can definitely see here that neither one of them are solved for a specific variable. But we can see that y has a coefficient of 1. So I have 2x plus y is equal to negative 2. Solving for y, we're going to subtract 2x from both sides, and we get that y is equal to negative 2x minus 2. Now we're just going to plug that in for y. So 5x plus 3 times 2, now I have negative 2x minus 2 equals negative 8. 5x, we get 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6. Minus 6 is equal to negative 8. 5x minus 6x is a negative x minus 6, which equals negative 8. Add 6 to both sides. We get negative x is equal to negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 1 because we cannot leave our variable negative. So we have x is equal to 2. Now we're simply going to plug that x value in to figure out y. So we get y is equal to negative 2 times 2 minus 2. Y is equal to negative 4 minus 2. Y is equal to, oops, it's supposed to be negative 4 minus 2. Haha, skipped ahead. And that gives us negative 6. So we get that 2, negative 6 is our solution. All right. So now I want you to pause the video and I want you to try number 6. Same situation. We are given two equations where neither one of them is solved for a variable. So look for the one that has a leading coefficient of 1. All right. So here, unlike the other examples where y had the coefficient of 1, we have x has the coefficient of 1. So we're going to solve for x. Y plus 5y is equal to 4. We're going to subtract 5y from both sides. And we get that x is equal to negative 5y plus 4. Now we're simply going to plug it in. So we have 3 times negative 5y plus 4 plus 15y equals negative 1. All right, so now we're going to distribute our 3. So 3 times negative 5 gives me a negative 15y plus 12 plus 15y equals negative 1. So I have a negative 15y and a positive 15y, which cancels out. And I get 12 is equal to negative 1. 12 will never equal negative 1, so I have no solution. All right, so now it is time to summarize what you've learned from today's lesson.